thank you for sticking to this time. This is the last lecture, and I think it's kind of perfect to tie up everything we've been discussing between yesterday and today. This year's Harmattan School's theme was titled Preparing for a Career in Medical Physics. And so if you look at all the topics, the flow, you know, academic success, clinical certification, scholarships, routes to different medical physics careers, Jesu Tofumi sharing her journey about medical physics, Dr. Sandwell sharing skills about life skills or essential skills to succeed. So all these are all, if you put all this together, they would make you a very brilliant scientist. So my own topic is on mentorship. Mentorship is to cap it all up. It's very, very important. I don't think any serious person who wants to succeed in his or her career can do so successfully in today's climate without mentorship, no matter how big or great you are. I was listening to, for those who are in Nigeria, we heard recently of the CEO of Access Bank who passed on some weeks ago. I was following his burial ceremony, and Aliko Dangote, who is like the richest man in Africa, you know, was talking about him, referring to him as his protege, as his mentee. And it was kind of interesting to me to see that, you know, this is a great man. Herbert Wigge is great, and he has a mentor. So it has nothing to do with age. It's about experience. So I'm hopefully going to convince us today, if you don't have a mentor, get a mentor. And if you are not mentoring anybody, there are a lot of people I find, they have experiences and they are not sharing that knowledge to anyone. That is very selfish. I'm sorry to use that word. But you can't, it's only, they say is it a swamp or what now? What's that body of water that doesn't flow? If you don't flow, if you're not giving out and you're not receiving, you will stink. So I'm hoping at the end of today's lecture, you get a mentor if you don't have one, and you become a mentor if you are not one. So being mentored is a good way to invest in your future, regardless of whatever path you want to take in life. Even if you're not talking about medical physics, life generally, being mentored is a very good investment. And it is not too late to start to make that investment now. So who is a mentor? I put here that a mentor is a trusted, you can see that I highlighted some words in red because I want to emphasize on those words. A trusted advisor who the person should have the ability to guide you. Not everybody has the ability to guide. Like I always joke, I have a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, is a lecturer. And I keep telling him, you have no business being a lecturer. You can't teach. And you know, he's very intelligent, yes, but you don't have the ability to transfer knowledge. So a mentor should have that ability to provide guidance, support, encouragement as you navigate your professional journey. Professional journey because we are talking about medical physics career, but please apply this concept to any area of your life. And it is a specific and sometimes personal relationship. It's specific because you have a target, you have a goal you want to achieve. So for example, as a medical physicist, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about doing master's, PhD. So now, for example, you get a mentor who is going to guide you on your journey to getting a master's degree. That is a specific goal. That's a specific aim. So the person should, so that's what I mean by being specific. And sometimes it can be personal. I am where I am today because of mentorship. This Harmattan School we are talking about today is a product of mentorship. And these people who have mentored me all these years, I have very close personal relationship with them. Some of the speakers you see today, the person who just finished speaking now, Yemi, he's still a mentee. And I remember the first time I met him, I couldn't help him. So he needed some specific guidance. I remember he wanted some clinical training. I didn't have that ability to provide that. My center wasn't good enough then. And I remember directing him, go and meet Dr. Akuchafo in Lagos. So today now, Yemi, we are very, we talk about other things apart from medical field. So relationship has developed personally. Today I'm the secretary of the Nigerian Association of Medical Physics. The current president was, and he's still my mentor. I don't know if he still accepts me as his mentee, but he was my mentor. He was the one who, when I was an undergraduate student in FUTA, he was the one who told me, you need to do this to become a medical physicist. Today, we have a personal relationship. So that's what I mean. Then another important thing, it involves accountability. A lot of people want to become mentees and they're not ready to pay the price of accountability. You want to do things your own way. No, your mentor is there to guide you and you have to follow that guidance. So people usually confuse mentorship or mentors and role models. Who is a role model? Yes, just like a mentor, someone who inspires you or someone who you look up to, but there's no relationship. Your role models, I have many role models, for example, like I don't want to call their names, but you might laugh. Okay, I can. I always, like I said yesterday, I love football. I want to work, Ferguson, who was the former coach of Manchester United. I used to look up to him, like this is someone I want to coach like him, that kind of thing. So, but he doesn't know me. I don't have any relationship with Alex Ferguson, but he's a role model. And I have other role models in other. I love to sing, for example. So Cece Winers is my role model, but she doesn't know me. I don't have a relationship with her. You can have many role models as possible, but the difference between a role model and a mentor is that there's that relationship. They know you, you know them. I put up this picture. This is Herring Becquerel on my left, Marie Curie in the middle, Wilhelm Röntgen. These are medical physicists that we know discovered X-rays and radioactivity, respectively. I've had students tell me that Becquerel is your role model, or is your mentor, sorry, that Marie Curie is your mentor. How can somebody who is dead 19 something, how can that person be your? So I hope now you now know the difference. They can be your role models, but you can't call them mentors. So who is not a mentor? Of course, the opposite of what I said. If the person doesn't have experience, the person has to have gone ahead of you in that specific area you want to learn from. And it has nothing to do with age. I'm going back to using Yemi as an example. We were to work on we're working on it, was it 2 years or 3 years ago? I can't even remember. I got in touch with him. There was a student in Ife who wanted to do a project. And I said, Yemi, I need help. Somebody needs a project. Yemi said, I have a project. And lo and behold, that person was Yemi's classmate as an undergraduate. Now, Yemi has more experience. Yemi has a master's. He's doing a PhD. This person is just starting a master's. Yemi was now acting as the person's mentor because he has more experience and expertise in that particular area this person needed help with. So it has nothing to do with age. I want to just emphasize that, please. Mentorship, I highlighted here in red, it is not a slave-master relationship. I have seen this over and over again. In fact, I've almost fallen victim of this. If you did biology, we learned about symbiosis, parasitic, and there are people that are parasitic. Mentorship is a two-way street. And we're going to look at some of the benefits of being a mentee and being a mentor. Yes, the mentor is a more experienced person providing guidance, support, and all that, but you're also benefiting too as a mentor. It's a two-way thing. The mentee is the one driving the relationship because he or she is the one that knows what he or she wants to achieve, and you are there to guide. It's two-way. You're helping one another. It's not one-way thing. If you find anyone who is just there, people that are just there to use you, they just want to use you, maybe because yes, you are very brilliant, and then you are doing all the work, and they are not contributing anything to you. That is a slave-master relationship. Any form of manipulation. In fact, I call it witchcraft. When you're trying to manipulate someone or control someone, that's not mentorship. So if you're in that kind of relationship, please, you are not in a mentorship relationship. You are being witch hunted. So just to kind of compare and contrast common terms that we always confuse with mentorship. So coach, a mentor can also be a coach. Coaching is more like a very structured training program. And most times you get to pay the person. Mentorship is voluntary. So nowadays, I see people, being paid or asking, come and pay me. Ideally, the real definition in all sense of, is a voluntary action. You are not paid, but for coaching, and you're the person's client, you're paying the person. It's very, very structured. There might be no relationship, counselor too. And coaching and counseling, you need to actually, by law, you have to be have a certificate. You have to be certified, to be a counselor. And I got this confused. I remember in 2020 or 2019. Yes, there was someone who offered to mentor me, and it was a very big privilege. I didn't know what I didn't know what it was going to entail. So I went ahead to even go and read and what does it mean to be a mentee. And I even got a certificate in mentorship from the Institute of Counseling in the UK, just to tell you how serious I was. But so counseling and coaching requires, and of course, we already know what who a role model is. So what are the types of mentors or mentorship? It could be corporates. So like in a company can have a program and say, okay, they want to mentor new staff that are just coming on board, and then they will assign senior levels staff in the company to kind of oversee those people till they get, they can stand on their feet properly. It could be academic. Usually academic institutions assign mentors to students. When I was a master's student, I had a mentor. My head of department was assigned to me. And as I was assigned to him to ensure that my academic program goes smoothly and all that. It could be business, it could be professional, so specifically related to your career. And of course, I put spiritual here because most people here are Africans. I know that is the one they know very well, spiritual mentorship. So the forms, I labeled this, I wanted to write forms of mentorship. It could be peer to peer. So even amongst colleagues, you're mentoring one another, sharing knowledge, helping one another. It could be a form of group. Currently, there are some of us now in the association, clinical physicists, who are currently being mentored by a very big professor in the US. It's a group mentorship. It could be done virtually. COVID has taught us that now you don't need to have everybody relate to people physically. So, and this virtual mentorship enables you to relate with anyone, anywhere. I see people in the chat, sharing, I want to get in touch with Yemi, I want to get in touch with Tufumi, I want to get in touch with Dr. Kelly. It's all going to be done virtually. Career development program. This program we're having, the Harmattan School, is a kind of mentorship program. So why do you need a mentor? For learning. To learn. Learning is continuous. I tell people, in fact, I try to run away from people who claim they know everything. If you think you've arrived in this world, you know everything, you're an expert, I stay away from people like that. Learning is continuous. So you need, in fact, the respect I had for a very, very senior colleague, I'm not going to mention his name. It's increased the day he told me, this man is like 60 years old. The day he told me he had a mentor, my respect for him went up, because usually people, especially at that age, when they've gotten to the peak of their careers, they feel they've arrived and all that. He said he's been mentored by someone, so it shows you that it's someone who is open to constantly learning. Networking, mentors. See, if you have a good mentor, you already have access. If you're doing your own part well, you already have access to connections, in quotes, the person's network. For example, those who are in this program now, automatically, I saw Victor sharing LinkedIn profiles of the facilitators, and that is, you're already being you're networking. That's networking already. Of course, guidance and counseling. Accountability. If you're not accountable to anybody, you're already on the path to destruction, disaster. You need to be accountable to someone. There has to be someone who can call you to order when you are misbehaving, when you're going off track. Perspective. Sometimes we are very myopic in our thinking. I give an example of this Harmattan School being a product of mentorship. I remember then I had many ideas. There are some people who are very, very hyperactive, their brains, you're thinking of so many things. And then my mentor was able to narrow it and said, no, Iyobosa, this is what you need to do. And he opened my eyes to see. So that's a perspective I never would have had if I didn't have a mentor. So a mentor, because remember, a mentor has more experience than you, has gone ahead of you, knows the things you don't know. So there's an adage that standing on the shoulders of, is it giants or something? I don't know how to, when you see let me not go and misquote it, but I'm sure you know what I'm going to say. When you're standing on the shoulders of somebody who is very tall, it's not your own doing. So that, and then to reach a goal, you must have a goal. A lot of people say, please be my mentor, be my mentor. I ask them, why do you want me to be your mentor? What are you trying to achieve? If you don't have a goal, please, in the first place, your mentor has to be someone who is going somewhere, who has gone somewhere. And then can you just go to the airport and say, is there any flight boarding? Let me join you. Does it make sense? You have to have a goal. And speaking of goals, your goals have to make sense. They have to be specific. A goal of somebody saying, I want to, give me an example of a stupid goal. I'm talking to someone here. Okay, I don't even know what to I don't have stupid goals in my head, but someone said, I want to be great. Okay, you want to be great, that's fine. Great in what? What do you want to be great? Or I want to be very good. Good at what? It's not specific. Your goal has to be specific, measurable, achievable. Someone who is saying, I want to have a PhD. So to have a PhD, you have to have a bachelor's degree first. You have to have a master's degree, So if you don't have those, you don't have an achievable goal. PhD is not an achievable goal if you don't have a BSc or a master's degree. It has to be relevant. I've heard a lot of people, I'm using the examples you just talked about because it's still fresh. You cannot just say, is it necessary? Why do you want to put yourself through stress, for example, to have a PhD when you know you don't need a PhD? If your goal is to be a good clinical medical physicist, you do not need that. I have a friend who relocated to the US. He was doing a PhD in Malaysia. When he got to, sorry, not the US, Australia. As soon as he got to Australia, he just chatted me up. Iyobosa, I'm dumping this PhD. I don't need it here. And I was so happy that he said that, because I mean, I tried to tell him that he didn't need that, but sometimes be like, oh, you have a PhD, you don't need to have a PhD. No, if it's not relevant, please, then it should be time framed. If you just have an open-ended, you would not, in fact, a serious mentor would ask you to have a timeline, a Gantt chart. What do you want to achieve in the next 1 month, 2 months? Write those things down, you know, like a scripture in the Bible, write the vision down, make it plain so that you can run with it. If you're not specific, if you don't write these things, you're not well-defined, you're just going to be moving around in circles. So your goals have to be, this is the acronym for SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-framed. Benefits of mentorship. To the mentees, you're going to build your profile. Do you know what it means? I remember when I was a student, I did my master's in the UK. I remember applying for some jobs, and just because I knew some, like my mentor, I just called his name. So Professor so-and-so is my mentor. Just that one alone, I did not even have to do any interview or something like that. I'm just giving an example. So my profile was, you know, up there, you know, because of that. So it helps to build your profile. You're going to be learning stuff too. So as you're learning stuff, your CV is building, increasing, getting better, and all that. So increase confidence and self-esteem. Sorry, I can see my spellings are just wrong. I was rushing and typing this thing yesterday night, so please pardon I'm not a bad speller. Increase your confidence, your self-esteem. When I was in secondary school, my first mentor was my father. I remember when I got to SS1, I had I won't say it's a bad score, but if you're someone that is used to getting, you know, first and second, there are some scores you will just see and you feel like you failed. So and I remember him just telling me, and this was because I was intimidated by, you know, the other people. You know, if you are taking first in primary school, then all of you now come to secondary school. All the first, everybody will reshuffle. So my self-esteem kind of went low. And I remember just one word my father told me. That was all that I needed for my self-esteem, you know, never feel inferior to anyone. Iyobosa, you can do this, you can be the best. And I'm telling you, I became the best student in mathematics and further maths. I was getting 100, 99, 100, 99, 100, 99, even up to in my undergraduate studies. So that's what a mentor can do to you. Your competency, because you are learning from this person. That's why you have to be careful who you choose as your mentor. You're not going to just choose any kind of person. Somebody who is good at what that specific goal you are trying to achieve. Your competency is going to give your career planning. Your mentor will help you plan your career. This is what you need to do. I remember when I finished my master's, I wanted to run home. My mentor told me, Iyobosa, if you dare not, I don't want to see you in Nigeria. You must not come back to Nigeria until you get clinical experience. If you don't get your clinical experience, don't come back. This is my mentor, not even my father. He helps me to plan my career. This is why you need to have this clinical experience. This is what you are going to do after this and that and that and that. That is a mentor. Lower level of stress. I'm telling you, I don't know about you, but for me, it relieves the stress knowing that you have someone who is going to back you up, someone who has your back, someone who is going to guide you, someone who is going to speak for you in corridors of powers where you might not be able to get to. Your mentor is there speaking for you. And that's why you have to have a good mentor. But there's some people in those same corridors of powers who are going to try to bring you down. That is not a mentor. Some people will try to bring you down. I remember listening to the former CEO of Pepsi, Nora something. I know you can just go on Google. She has spoken a lot of on mentorship. And she was saying that, in fact, as a mentor, for you to know that you've done a good job, your mentee should compete for your job. Like your mentee should be so good enough to take your job. And as a mentor, you should be very secure. If you have an insecure person as a mentor, I'm sorry, please, that person is not qualified to be a mentor. Is very, very secure, very, very secure. And of course, because you are being blessed, you know, you are being given to, so you should also give to others. There's some people I don't understand. I used to have a problem with people, especially in school, undergraduates. You have people, they go to library, they read, and they will not even hide the textbook so that another person cannot see. For God's sake, or maybe somebody has taught you, you didn't understand a particular course, and somebody taught you, you should go and teach other people, you should help other people. So if you are being mentored to help, to mentor other people, you should pass it on. I already talked about someone to press the button for you. In Nigeria, it's a common terminology, is press button. A mentor can press button. Someone to cheer you on. Your mentor is your biggest cheerleader. Someone to open the doors for you. I think this is self-explanatory. So what is your role as a mentee? When in the mentor-mentee relationship, you're going to get feedback. If you're someone who easily gets offended when somebody corrects you, you're not open to corrections, criticisms, you're not ready to be mentored. Because a mentor is going to criticize, and because the mentor wants you to get better, not because of, not for any other reason, wants you to get better. So there are going to be constructive criticisms, and you should be open to those criticisms. You should be open to feedbacks. Usually, somebody was saying, I've applied and applied and applied. It was a mentor who told me when I was complaining, I remember them years ago, and I said, Iyobosa, if you've not applied 1,000 times, don't come and complain. So that's what my mentor told me. And even when I was applying for those stuff and getting rejected, I write back to them, thank you for blah, 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 blah. Please, may I know why, I was rejected? That's a feedback. Let me tell you, get better when you take feedbacks. Your mentor, so as a mentee, you should also set clear goals and objectives. Because I mentioned earlier that the mentee is the one who drives the relationship. You are going to meet a mentor and say, this is what I want to do. Don't expect the mentor to be feeding you. It's not babysitting. You're not babysitting. People are busy. So you should have a clear goal and objective, and the mentor is to help you to get to that goal. So as a mentor, you should actively seek guidance and advice from the mentor. I always tell students who come here, especially undergraduate students, IT students. In fact, I used to tell them codedly, I said, if you are not ready to learn, please stay away from me. There are more than one medical physicist in this hospital. You can go and meet any other. If you're not ready to learn, please stay away from me, because I don't want us to have friction. You should actively seek guidance. Some people, you are being taught and you're not asking questions. I really don't understand. The amount of knowledge or information you're going to get from your mentor depends on how much guidance you're requesting for. There's an African adage that the amount of water you can draw from a well depends on the size of your buckets. So actively seek, that's what they are there for. That's what the mentors are there for. Ask questions, seek guidance. Don't be a know-it-all person. If you know it all, then why are you here? Take initiative in implementing suggestions and recommendations. Another important, I love this because the reason I'm emphasizing on this point is because, especially in Africa, in Nigeria, there's this culture. When I studied in the UK, that was the first time I heard when a lecturer doesn't know, you ask a question, the lecturer will tell you, okay, I'll get back to you. I don't know. It's only in Nigeria, they will not tell you they will get back to you. They will tell you, go and read about it. It's that. So I know some of us, our mindsets, yesterday talked about mindset. You need to change that mindset. My PhD supervisor, I remember then, because I did my PhD in Ife. I was afraid. I said, God, I want to just graduate too. I'm not ready to fight anybody. So I always be doing, he said, after he would talk and say, why are you not making any contributions? Why are you not suggesting? Why are you not taking initiative? I was like, really? You want me to talk? I'm very good at talking, I will do that. I just felt you are like every other Nigerian lecturer, who wants to be doing sa. So as a mentee, you should take initiative. You should shine bright. That's what your mentor wants to see. You're not shining too much. If you're shining too much, you're probably not with the right person, because the whole idea is to shine. Take initiative. Don't expect him to always be the one saying, do this, do that. Communicate openly and be honest. I'm so happy yesterday we're talking about lies. Do not lie. Please. Why do people tell lies? Why do people exaggerate things? Be very honest with your mentor. So be very honest with your mentor. If you have a problem, be very honest with your mentor. If you have a problem, please come out openly and say, I have this problem. Whatever it is. Show appreciation for your mentee's time and expertise. The biggest thank you, I always tell people, number one, respect the mentor's time. If you have to have a meeting by 10 a.m., please, there is no such thing as 10:05. Even if for one reason you are going to come at 10:05, courtesy demands, please, sir, ma, I can't make this time because of this, and this. And another way to show appreciation is to actually implement these ideas or the recommendations he or she has given to you. There's no point somebody advising you and not taking the advice. It's very stressful on the side of the mentor. Be receptive to learning and growth opportunities. Demonstrate commitment, dedication. Take responsibility for your own learning and progress. You're not a child, you're an adult. So number one, do not abuse the relationship. This is very common. Because now, especially you're having a professional relationship with someone, then you start to, do anyhow. It's very common, especially amongst us. I'm speaking about Nigeria because that is my climb. I don't know about what happens in other countries. Even if somebody says, call me by name, we know what the culture is here. Even as I am like this, I have my colleagues, I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say, but please I don't abuse the relationship. See, like what we say, see finish. If you allow see finish to enter, then please, you're not ready for that. So your mentor might expose you to things, might connect you with their friends, their own network, and then you are not going behind and doing stuff with behind the person. Or no. Before you even start that mentee relationship, ideally you should even establish some do's and don'ts, some agreements, some lines you shouldn't cross. So please do not abuse the relationship. I know in overseas, you call people by names. I remember one of my supervisors saying, "Iyobosa, call me by name. Don't call me professor." I said, "Please, so let me be calling you professor, because when I go back to my country, I don't want to get." But even then, when I even call them by name, you will know that I am giving them the respect. You would know that there is respect. I'm calling you by name does not mean. But some people, even when they even call you by name, you will know that the person is already seeing himself or herself as if both of you are on the same level. And it shouldn't be so. Do not abuse relationships. What to look out for in a mentor? I think I will just go. I've said some of this already. Someone who the person has to inspire you. If the person does not inspire you, please do not do eye service and go and look for get someone who does not inspire you as a mentor. The person has to inspire you. The person has to have something you want, something you are trying to achieve. And the mentor should lead by example. A mentor who is saying, meet me by 10 a.m. and he or she comes late. And that's crap. That's not good. So I'm also speaking to mentors. Lead by example. If you're saying you are meeting by 10, be there by 10. Don't come late and then you start to now shout on the person. Why did you come late? You yourself, you also came late. Share information. Some people do not share information. Let me just tell you, I'm very open and I'm speaking from personal experiences. Some people do not like to share information. Maybe they feel if they share their information, they're going to compete with them, or they want to be ahead of you. No. That's not a mentor. A mentor is going to open up vault of information, secret things that you probably not even get elsewhere outside. Counsel, wise counsel, counsels wisely. Remember, Dr. Kelly gave an example of a counsel she received, which she didn't take because it wasn't wise. So you have to be careful of that. Offer support, defend. Your mentor should be able to defend you. Your mentor should help you think outside the box. Personally, please think outside the box. Anybody who has been around me, either as a friend, as a colleague, as a mentee, or even my mentor, you know that I like to think outside the box. Don't do things the way everybody does it. Even if nobody has done it before, doesn't mean who said you cannot be the first person. The Marie Curies and co that we're looking up to today, they are who they are. We're respecting them because they blaze the path that nobody has blazed. So please think outside the box. Your mentor should have experience in the area you are interested in. So he might have experience in one area, might not have experience in another area. You must be compatible. I wrote an article about the 9 steps to succeed as a PhD student. I think I saw somebody share it in the chat. I wrote that article. I actually dedicated it to my PhD and to my mentor. Just be compatibility, or you you guys should be able to relate. If you know that there's, I don't know, you have your 5 senses, you can tell if somebody doesn't wish you well, or you're not compatible with somebody. So please, the person should be willing to mentor you too. Yes, there should be that willingness. It's not a forced relationship, it's a volunteership. It's a voluntary relationship. Should be able to give feedbacks. The mentor himself, herself should also be someone who is learning. Anybody who has arrived, I think you should not stay away from people like that. The person should be able to teach. Mentors are teachers, mentors are also coaches too. I told you I have a close friend. I love him so much. He's very brilliant, talented, but friendship is very important. If you service your relationship well, it will end in friendship. Look at all the speakers today. I am friends with every single one of them. That's why I could easily call Dr. Koja for, you're going to be on the panel today. Dr. Kelly, this these are all people, because it has developed into friendship. So, and this is what you should aim for. So if you service that relationship well, you want to have a friend at the end. So what is the mentor going to do for you? I don't need to say this again. I've shared the presentation already in that Google slide. You can easily read this so that I don't spend it. So now I want to talk to the mentors now. So a typical mentoring process, I screenshot. What's the process of screenshot? Okay, I don't even know, screenshot or screenshot. I screenshot this from one of my textbooks. I told you I went in 2020 or 2019 when I wanted to relate it to a mentor. I went to do a certificate in mentorship. I think it was a 6-month program. Just tell you how serious I was. So I screenshot this from one of the textbooks. The 4 stages of mentorship. So stage 1, you have to confirm as a mentor. Please confirm that the mentee has a goal, has a plan. If there's no goal on plan, please there are different types of relationships. We are talking about mentorship. You can do other types of relationship, but in terms of mentorship, there have to be a well-defined goal and plan. Encourage self-management or learning. You are not trying to train a dependent person. You want someone who can go and stand on his or on our own, and mentor other people. So you have to encourage self-learning. Provide support. Please always provide support to your mentees. And then assist in evaluation of that support. Provide feedback. If mentee is doing something wrong, please tell them they are doing something wrong and take correction. If your mentee is not taking corrections from you, does not accept your criticism, please end that relationship. All right, I think I'm almost done. Okay, so benefits of mentorship. I said it's a 2-way communication. So the mentee is not only benefiting, even as a mentor, you're benefiting too. Personally, the fulfillment that comes from seeing and knowing that your mentees are doing well or they're achieving their goals, I don't think you can put a price on it. You can't put a price on it. For me, I'm speaking for myself. I already gave an example of Yemi Aboyewa, Josie Tofumi, Dr. Padele, who spoke yesterday. If you know how the joy, and others, I might not be able to mention their name, but anybody who have mentored, who are mentoring now, it's priceless when you see that they are succeeding and doing well. It is priceless. It comes to a very high level of personal fulfillment. So if you're someone who thinks beyond money and personal aggrandizement, or please, I think mentorship is something you should consider doing. Increase commitment. Of course, it makes you more committed because you're not going to you manage your time, but you don't have extra time to waste now. You're devoting that time to somebody else. It also helps you to develop good interpersonal skills. Last year, I had a long complaint about that. So, and they also muting people. So it's an investment. At the beginning I said mentorship is a good investment for your future. So it's an investment that comes with returns. They're also going to give back to you too. Now, if I need any help, I practically all over the world, both mentees and mentors. I used to tell people, if I travel anywhere in the world, I cannot be stranded. There are people I can always call on. Those are returns of mentorship, both as a mentee. So I am a mentor, and I'm also a mentee. I am being mentored, and I'll continue to be mentored until I achieve, be the best version of Iyobosa. Of course, your profile, when you say you have mentees, it shows that you're a responsible person and you're actually giving back, to the society. You're actually helping to. So that's a very good profile. Increase motivation and productivity. That's self-explanatory. Thank you very much. Sorry, I had to rush. I was speaking very fast, and I hope you were able to gain 1 or 2 things. And I hope at the end of this lecture, you've been convinced that if you're not a mentor, start to mentor. That is if you have the qualities of a mentor. If you don't have the qualities, you can actually develop the qualities. So if you don't have them, you can wait till when you develop those qualities and start to mentor people. If you don't have a mentor, go and get a mentor. Thank you very much.